A Reddit user purchased a GTX Titan X engineering sample on eBay. One of the Reddit users, without knowing it, purchased an engineering sample, of the NVIDIA GeForce GTX Titan X video card, which at one time was one of the best gaming video cards. While it's relatively easy to find new samples of Intel or AMD processors on the secondary market, it's not every day that you see engineering graphics cards, much less those from the Titan family. The rare GeForce GTX Titan X has all the characteristics of a retail model, with the exception of display outputs. While the original has a DVI port, an HDMI 2.0 port, and 3 DisplayPort 1.40 connectors, the engineering card only has one HDMI 2.0 port and one DisplayPort. The lack of video outputs initially suggested to a Reddit user that someone tricked him and slipped him a fake Titan graphics card. However, a representative of the NVIDIA forum clarified that the video card is an engineering model, judging by the article number starting with 699. I do not know where it came from, but we sometimes transfer engineering cards to partners, and, unfortunately, sometimes they end up on the market, an NVIDIA representative replied in a Reddit thread. Released in 2015, the GeForce GTX Titan X graphics card used a GM200 Maxwell chip with an area of 601 square millimeters and contained up to 8 billion transistors. At the time, TSMC was producing the GM200 for NVIDIA using a 28 nanometers process. The GPU's screenshot didn't reveal anything impressive about the engineering sample. It still has 3072 CUDA cores running at 1000 MHz and 12 GB of GDDR5 memory running at 7 Gbps. Being an engineering model, the video card overclocked to 1076 MHz, which is 13 MHz slower than the retail GeForce GTX Titan X. The GeForce GTX Titan X is relatively low-powered by modern standards. The video card works at about the same level as the GeForce GTX 1660Ti. The user tested it in Red Dead Redemption 2 in 1080p resolution with maximum settings, and the video card was able to provide an average frame rate of 37.95 FPS. While the GeForce GTX Titan X doesn't represent much gaming value today, it can be a great collector's item. The lucky owner of the GeForce GTX Titan X did not disclose the price he paid for the video card, only specifying that he bought it on eBay. In 2015, NVIDIA released the GeForce GTX Titan X for $999, which was very expensive at the time. It's funny that today for this price you cannot even buy GeForce RTX 4080, which is not the flagship,